Hey folks, welcome back to my film review channel. I'm back with another retro review, and this is my final review from the year 1995. If you've been following my channel, I've been doing retro reviews from the year 1990 for films that are turning 30 years old, and I've been doing retro reviews for films that are turning 25 years old. And I am back with my final film. I have saved the best for last. It is a film that won 2 Academy Awards for Best Original Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor. It is hailed by many as a modern classic with a twist in the tale that has to be seen to be believed. And I'm, of course, talking about the iconic The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects was released in 1995. It was directed by Bryan Singer, and it features a unique ensemble cast, including Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Pollak, Stephen Baldwin, Benicio del Toro, Chaz Palminteri, and an Oscar-winning Kevin Spacey. In The Usual Suspects, we see small-time conman Verbal Kint, played by Kevin Spacey, who's in a Los Angeles interrogation room, and he tries to convince Dave Coulion, police officer, played by Chaz Palminteri, that an elusive and mythic crime lord called Keyser Soze was responsible for drawing he and his 4 friends into a deadly drug deal at Los Angeles harbour that resulted in 27 people being killed. As always, guys, thanks for the support. Keep the support coming. Hit that subscribe button so you can follow that channel. Hit the alarm bell as well so you can get notifications from me when my video is going to be uploaded, and help give this video a like as well. I remember first seeing The Usual Suspects when I was in my late teens. Maybe like 17 or 18 at that time, and I was just watching it. It was just such an engaging thriller from start to finish. And when I saw the film from start to finish, and the ending, and they just pulled the carpet from under me, I was like, how the hell did they do that? And I've seen this film countless times, and I never tire of it. This has to be one of the most ingenious and well-plotted thrillers in the last 25 years. And what was interesting enough was that upon its initial release, The Usual Suspects wasn't that well received by critics. The well-respected and late great film critic Roger Ebert gave this film 1 out of 5 stars. Can you believe that? Hal Hinson, in his review, labelled The Usual Suspects as being too clever for its own good. Time has been kind to this film, and despite only grossing $36 million on a $6 million budget, it is a modern classic, and that just goes to prove to you that a film doesn't have to have big box office numbers to be memorable. The real star of The Usual Suspects is the script. Christopher McQuarrie, a former police detective, wrote an ingenious and well-plotted thriller from start to finish. It is told in flashback sequence and a great voiceover from Kevin Spacey, and we see a film that has so many twists and turns, and it is a film that you have to keep your wits about you. You have to pay attention. If you doze off, you've missed something and you're out of the game. And Christopher McQuarrie has gone on to be not only a respected writer, but also a respected director, bringing his unique style of storytelling to some brilliant thrillers, including Jack Reacher, which he directed in 2012, Mission Impossible 5, and he hailed himself as one of the best action directors around with Mission Impossible 6, which is not only a brilliant action film, but a brilliant thriller from start to finish. And he's going to be working on Mission Impossible 7 and 8 as well, so I know that he will work his magic on those films. From the outset, the musical score in this film sets the tone of The Usual Suspects perfectly. John Ottoman, who's been a frequent collaborator of Bryan Singer's ever since they worked together on the X-Men films, they worked together on Superman Returns. His use of pianos and violins sets the tone for the film. That we are going to see a murder mystery / whodunit. Even when you listen to it, it has remnants of the opening theme from the TV show Poirot, starring David Suchet. And the whodunit element and the criminal element work brilliantly. Even from the police lineup in New York, when we see these 5 criminals sitting in a jail cell together, they've been brought together because there was a truck full of guns that was ripped off, and these guys are well-known criminals, so the police suspect that one of them did it. Put them in a cell together to think who will break and who was responsible. Just that element alone, almost reminiscent of Reservoir Dogs, in terms of who's the traitor, sets the tone perfectly for the film. The Usual Suspects has a host of well-respected actors who were unknown at the time. They were great character actors, but then went on to do bigger things. The budget of this film was only $6 million, so they could only get who they could. Those that turned it down, I'm sure they regret it. Because we have a brilliant ensemble cast here that on paper shouldn't work, but does. The camaraderie of these guys work very, very well. One iconic scene, when they're in the lineup, as Benicio del Toro is about to say his line, the cast just break out into laughter. Because what had happened was Benicio del Toro was actually breaking wind the entire time. And these guys couldn't keep a straight face. And Bryan Singer thought, okay, I want to keep that because it adds a level of familiarity amongst these guys. There's some camaraderie between these guys and it'll just make the whole scene flow better. And it did work. Another iconic scene is where they go to see the mysterious Redfoot after a deal has gone bad. The brilliant character actor, Peter Green, he flicks a cigarette at Stephen Baldwin and it was actually meant to hit his chest, but it hits him in his face by accident. And Stephen Baldwin's reaction is actually real. And Bryan Singer decided to keep that in the film as well. Gabriel Byrne, well-respected actor. And he was brilliant as Dean Keaton. The cop trying to go straight, but is still pulled into this life of crime. And even though on paper we've seen that done before, Christopher McQuarrie does something different. Kevin Pollak gave an excellent performance. And Kevin Pollak is also known as a good comedic actor. But he gives us something different as Hockney, the hot-headed Hockney, who is good at explosives, and he has some brilliant lines in the film. Stephen Baldwin has one of his best performances in years, as McManus. My two favourite characters, Fenster, played by Benicio del Toro, the guy that nobody can understand. And it is his character, and it is the cast's response to what he says that brings out some of the humour within the film. Chaz Palminteri was brilliant as the interrogator Dave Coulion trying to find out what actually happened that day. And whether there actually is a Keyser Soze. But the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor went to Kevin Spacey, and it was rightly deserved, as the meek, cowardly Verbal Kint, and it is one of his best performances. And whilst I've been giving credit to the writers and the actors, Bryan Singer is a great director, and this is a film that catapulted into stardom. This was a brilliantly directed film, and the murder mystery element is just kept on so well. He keeps his foot on the pedal and doesn't let off until the very end. Even at the final scene where they're trying to piece together what actually happened that day and why it happened. And it jumps from the present scene to flashback sequences. All on the same level as, say, your Murder, She Wrote or Poirot. The mythical crime lord and the reputation and story surrounding the mythical crime lord, Keyser Soze. Now here's some trivia for you. That was actually based upon a true story called John List, an accountant from New Jersey who in 1971 murdered his whole family. He murdered his children and he murdered his wife. And then he went underground for 20 years. And then resurfaced, assuming a new identity, and he remarried. But he was eventually caught by the police. That storyline was worked into the background to Keyser Soze. The ending in The Usual Suspects is beyond a shadow of a doubt one of the greatest twists you will ever see. It is a film that after you've seen it, you wonder, what the hell did I just watch? And The Usual Suspects is a film that requires repeat viewing, so you will watch it again and again to see, okay, where did they get me? How did they still get me? And can I see any type of glimmer as to where the actual flaw in the plot is? And there is none. Even when I was watching it to write this review, it still got me. There was just some times where I was just sitting there like, oh my word, what a brilliant film. And then my mind was like, idiot, you're doing a review. Pay attention. So I'll not spoil it for you. Watch it if you haven't seen it. The Usual Suspects 25 years on, one of the most ingenious thrillers ever. Brilliant from start to finish. An hour and 40 minutes, it doesn't drag on at all. It is a classic, and I'm glad that when finishing this review, this was the film that I decided to finish on. So this is a film that I'll give easily another 10 out of 10 to. And I haven't done this in a while. If you haven't got this film on DVD, what the bloody hell are you waiting for? Go on Amazon, order it, and add it to your collection. So, that's my review. As always, guys, thanks for supporting this channel. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button so you can follow this channel. Hit that alarm bell as well so you can get notifications from me when my video is going to be uploaded. Give this video a like as well. What was your favourite scene from The Usual Suspects? Who was your favourite character from The Usual Suspects? Leave your comment in the comment section, and as always, I will see you on the next film review. Take care.